Hi, I'm Alex Salazar, and I want to know if this resonates with you. What's the most exhausting expectation in leadership? It's a belief that you have to have all the answers and that you need to be everything to everyone. Somewhere along the way, many of us began believing that great leaders should be the smartest person in the room, the best strategist, the one with all the answers. And the higher you rise, the heavier the expectations become. One of my favorite conversations to have with leaders, which is also one of my signature keynote presentations, is something that I call the Trust Multiplier. Because throughout my career, I've become convinced of something. Leadership team success isn't about capability, it's about trust. And when trust is low, all sorts of things start happening. Leaders protect territory, they hold back ideas, they avoid difficult conversations and quietly work around one another instead of relying on one another. And the organization pays the price. But when trust is high, something remarkable happens. Leaders stop trying to prove themselves. They begin leveraging one another's strengths. They become comfortable saying things like, "You're better than me at this. Can you lead this one?" And "I don't quite know the answer. Let me ask so and so." That's not weakness, that's mature leadership. No leader was ever meant to be everything. The strongest leadership teams understand that every strength also has a blind spot. So the goal here isn't individual completeness, it's collective capability. That's why I call it the trust multiplier. Trust multiplies the value of every strength sitting around the leadership table. It creates an environment where leaders challenge ideas without questioning motives, where different perspectives sharpen one another instead of competing with one another, where the team becomes smarter than any individual leader could ever be. That's the kind of leadership team I had the privilege of helping build during my time at Disney. And that was one of the most rewarding experiences in my career. So, all that said, I have a question for you to wrestle with this week. Are you trying to become the leader who has all the answers? Or are you building the kind of leadership team that becomes better because every person brings something different? Because the most exhausting expectation in leadership isn't actually necessary. And trust isn't simply another leadership competency. Trust is that multiplier that you need. If this resonates with you and you'd like to hear more, feel free to visit thebloomalliance.com and schedule a conversation with me. Or please forward this video to someone who needs to hear it. Thank you so much for your time today. Dig, take root, and bloom, my friends.